It was a rainy evening when Emily, the janitor's daughter, lingered near the office pantry, her curiosity stronger than fear. She had always been observant, noticing things that adults overlooked, and tonight, something caught her attention that made her heart pound. The usually bustling floor was eerily quiet, except for the soft patter of rain on the windows. Emily's eyes, wide and alert, followed the two senior executives as they approached the drinks fridge. They were laughing, joking about some deal she couldn't hear, but her instincts screamed danger. One of them slipped a small vial into the sparkling water bottles, twisting the cap back on as if nothing had happened. She froze, the scene replaying in her mind a dozen times. Did she really see it? Her stomach twisted, and the metallic tang of fear rose in her mouth. They didn't notice her hiding behind the pantry counter, and she realized this was bigger than anything she had imagined. People she trusted, people she worked around, capable of something sinister. Her mind raced. She had to act, but how? Who would believe a janitor's daughter? Emily crept out from her hiding spot, her sneakers silent against the polished floor. She pulled out her phone and snapped a quick photo of the executives, hoping the image would be enough to convince someone. Every step she took seemed louder than the last, but she had no time to hesitate. She remembered the CEO's office on the top floor, the one place where she might be safe and taken seriously. The elevator ride was agonizingly slow, every ding of the passing floors making her jump. When she finally reached the top, she pounded on the door with both hands. "Mr. Caldwell! Mr. Caldwell!" she shouted. The CEO, a tall man with a reputation for ruthlessness in business, but fairness to his employees, opened the door with a raised eyebrow. "Emily, what are you doing here?" "It's late." Her voice trembled as she shoved the phone into his face. I saw them poison the drinks. You have to stop them." The CEO's eyes narrowed, scanning the photo and then the girl standing before him. "Calm down. Who?" Emily took a deep breath, fighting the fear that had her tongue-tied. "The senior execs, Mr. Kane and Ms. Preston, they were going to poison someone at the party." Tonight, his expression shifted, instantly from mild irritation to alert seriousness. "Show me everything you saw. Start from the beginning." Emily told him everything. The laughter that masked sinister intentions, the vial in the hand, the careful twisting of the caps, the way they never noticed her observing. Mr. Caldwell listened silently, his face unreadable, until the moment she finished. Then he leaned back, steepling his fingers. "You did the right thing coming to me directly. This could have ended in disaster." Emily's stomach sank. The idea that someone might actually drink it haunted her. What do we do now?" she whispered. The CEO's gaze hardened. "We catch them. Quietly, no mistakes. They're dangerous, and we're not letting them get away with this." By the time the corporate party had started, Emily had been moved to a secure observation room on the executive floor. The CEO had set up discreet cameras, tapping into every angle of the party hall. The room was dark, filled with the low hum of technology, and Emily's heart raced as she watched through the monitors. There they were, Kane and Preston, laughing, swirling glasses in hand, oblivious to the fact that every move was being tracked. The CEO whispered instructions into his earpiece, and security moved like shadows along the perimeter, silent and prepared. Emily couldn't tear her eyes away. Her mind replayed the scene at the pantry, the moment she saw the vial over and over. It was surreal to see them so confident, not realizing the trap closing in around them. Suddenly, Kane reached for a drink, and Emily felt her breath catch. The camera zoomed in. She could see the subtle shimmer of something unnatural in the liquid. Her hands clutched the edge of the console. "That's it." "That's the one," she murmured. Preston laughed, reaching to toast with him, but before the glasses could meet lips, the CEO's team intervened. Security officers emerged, swift and silent, surrounding the two executives. The look of surprise on their faces was fleeting, then rage. Kane lunged, but two officers restrained him, while Preston tried to make a break for the exit, only to be caught by another pair. Emily watched, heart pounding, as the two were escorted from the room in handcuffs. The CEO turned to her, voice calm but firm. "You did well. You could have been in danger, but you didn't freeze. You acted. Emily sank into the chair, relief washing over her in waves. She had never imagined that a simple act of noticing something unusual could lead to the exposure of such a plot. The CEO's eyes softened slightly as he regarded her. You have courage, Emily, don't ever doubt that. Not many adults would have seen what you saw, let alone come to me. Her chest rose and fell rapidly, and she realized the gravity of what had just happened. Lives had been saved, and she had been the one to make the first move. The thought was almost too much to process. What will happen to them? She asked. Justice will follow, he replied. And thanks to you, it will be swift and inevitable. Over the following days, the company was in shock. The news leaked to the press about the executives caught attempting to poison a colleague. But Emily's identity remained secret. Only the CEO knew the full story of how a young girl had uncovered the plot and prevented a disaster. Emily continued her life going to school, helping her father with janitorial work, but with a new sense of confidence. She had faced fear head-on and had come out stronger. Every time she walked past the office pantry, she remembered the moment she saw the vial slip into the drink. It had been terrifying, but it had also been the moment she realized she could make a difference. As the company slowly returned to normal, Emily noticed small changes. People glanced at her differently, and her father's pride was evident in every smile he gave her. She remained cautious, aware that evil could hide in plain sight, but she also knew that courage and observation were powerful weapons. She had been a silent witness to a conspiracy, and her actions had altered the course of events. The knowledge that she had played a pivotal role in preventing harm filled her with a quiet satisfaction. In the shadows, danger could always lurk, but Emily had discovered that bravery and vigilance could shine a light in even the darkest corners. Weeks later, the CEO called Emily to his office once again. He handed her a small envelope neatly sealed. Open it, he instructed. Inside was a note and a small card. The note read, "For courage beyond your years." The card was a gift, certificate to a prestigious summer program for young investigators and problem solvers. Emily's eyes welled up, a mixture of pride and disbelief. She had never expected recognition, but the acknowledgement meant more than anything. The CEO smiled at her, a rare warmth in his usually stern demeanor. Never stop noticing. Never stop acting when it matters. You have a gift. Emily's life shifted in ways she couldn't have imagined. Her reputation as the janitor's daughter remained, but behind closed doors, she was celebrated for her bravery and intelligence. The experience had taught her that danger could be anywhere, often where least expected, but also that one person, no matter how young or underestimated, could change everything. She found herself more alert, more analytical, and more confident, understanding that vigilance and quick thinking were invaluable tools. Life continued, but the memory of the poisoned drink lingered as a reminder of what could have been, and what was prevented by courage. Her father noticed the change in her demeanor. "You're different, Em," he said one evening, as they cleaned the floors together. More aware, stronger. Emily smiled faintly, thinking of the night when she had faced fear and acted. "I just pay attention, Dad," she replied. "It's all about noticing the little things." He nodded, pride shining in his eyes. Emily knew he didn't fully understand what she had experienced, but he recognized the bravery it took to act. The quiet satisfaction of having done the right thing settled in her heart, and she carried it with her everywhere. Months passed, and the company flourished without the shadow of the two executives who had plotted harm. Emily continued her studies, always aware of the world around her, always vigilant. Her courage became a quiet legend within the company, shared in hushed tones among executives who knew the truth. And every time she walked past a drink station, her mind flashed briefly to the vial, the danger, and the fact that she had been the one to stop it. It was a defining moment, one that shaped her understanding of bravery, vigilance, and the power of acting when it truly mattered. Even in her ordinary life, Emily had become extraordinary. She had learned that the smallest actions could have the most profound consequences. And that courage was not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. The shadow of the poisoned drink never haunted her. It reminded her of her strength. Her father noticed it too, in the way she moved, in the way she observed the world, in the quiet confidence she carried. Emily had changed irrevocably, and the world around her had changed as well, even if they didn't fully realize it. It was a rainy evening again, reminiscent of that fateful night, and Emily walked past the office pantry once more. Her eyes scanned the floor, the counters, the fridge. Every detail mattered. She felt a sense of readiness, a quiet assurance that if danger appeared again, she would be ready. The memory of the vial, of the executives, of the fear and the decisive action all coalesced into a single understanding. Vigilance and courage could protect not only oneself, but countless others. And in that moment, Emily understood fully that her life, once ordinary, had become extraordinary, not because of fame or recognition, but because she had acted when it counted the most.